Hey guys, I've been tagged with questions by Sarah. SarahWillBeSkinny. And Sarah, I am sorry I've been MIA the past few days. I'm just totally swamped at work and then unplugged yesterday. But I made this one of my favorite videos, one that you did, so that I'd remember to answer the questions. So I think they're really good questions. And they, I think, link back to gastric rows. I don't know how far back they go. But the first question is, oh my God, I'm going to have to really click over here. What did you want to know before surgery? Sorry, all the clicking. So for me, I feel like it's sort of a really unique case maybe because when I was 18, I was dating this girl who had the surgery, had gastric bypass. And I mean, we broke up a few months after she had the surgery. So I kind of had, a lot of background in it and did a lot of research with her and understood what the surgery was, why she was doing it, and saw her, she had it over the summer when I wasn't in the same city as her, but saw her afterwards in terms of her eating. And then we stayed friends, so saw her, there was a year gap not seeing her, but saw her a year later when she was tiny. And I mean me cloaked in envy the entire time. But I feel like I had sort of witnessed up close in some ways one person's journey. And then the other thing, to be honest, is that I just feel like I took a huge leap of faith with the surgery. I mean, I saw it as my life preserver. And when I went to see, I got a reference to the chief of bariatric surgery at one of the, great best hospitals in New York City. And when I went to him and he said, this is the kind of surgery you should have, and you should definitely have it. The odds of you losing weight on your own and getting healthy and having kids naturally and just the whole thing low, I feel like I kind of just leapt. And it was, less than a month seeing him the first time to having my surgery. So I bought Weight Loss Surgery for Dummies, and I read that. I watched a ton of YouTube videos. I read all the packets that they gave me in terms of the nutrition, but I didn't do a ton of research. And I definitely didn't do a ton of research in terms of the medical part of it. And I wish probably that I would have, not necessarily that it would have changed my decision to have the surgery, but maybe, I don't know. I feel like it was sort of a strange feeling to, almost realize with the regain. Since then I've read some medical studies that say, 50% of patients regain weight after the surgery 2 years out, but it tends to be 10% of the excess weight that they've lost. And that's totally fine. I feel like I will work hard to be part of the 50% that doesn't regain weight, but even if I do end up regaining and I stabilize closer to 170 than 54, which is my goal, that's fine. And I don't think knowing that would have changed my decision to have the surgery, but I do think it was a strange feeling kind of doing some of the research afterwards when I had these questions and would go back and do the research and realize, wow, I took a leap of faith with this and I made this irreversible decision with my body, maybe not having all of the information. And obviously, I had a top surgeon advising me, so I feel like I was pretty safe in that way. And emotionally, I'd seen it up close that someone had done it, and, I feel like I knew a lot in a lot of ways, but so rambly. I'm sorry. So rambly. But that's I guess what I wish I had done is sort of do a lot of the research, the medical research before, and not just be so trusting with it, although it worked out, obviously. And I sort of knew that, and, I'm dating someone who's really into medicine and healthcare, and she, I think, did a bit more of the research than I did. That's my long answer. Oh my God, I'm in a weird room because I couldn't get the lighting to work. I just feel so out of it for this video, but I'm determined to continue. What do I wish had been different? Let me click over and make sure I'm answering that question. What would I change? Well, obviously that a little bit is what I would change, but in terms of other things, I went back to work really quickly. I had my surgery on Tuesday. I got out of the hospital on Thursday. I took that next week off, and then I went back to work. And I'm sort of lucky because my manager was really understanding. They didn't know what kind of surgery I was having, but they knew I was having major surgery. And my manager was like, take all the time you need. You know, I feel like I probably could have taken off a month if I'd wanted it. But I was anxious. I mean, I was relatively new in my position at the time, and I was also going stir crazy at home. I don't know if you guys felt this at all, but, you know, I wasn't active enough to be able to walk or to go see a movie or to go, you know, out and meet friends. All my friends were working full-time jobs. So I was just like sitting at home in the apartment all day by myself, and I wound up pushing myself to go back to work early just because I was so bored. And if I could go back and redo it, I would have definitely taken off another week and given myself 2 weeks of recovery at home, not just a week and a half plus the time I was in the hospital. And I would have told my other friends sooner, because I wound up telling a lot of my close friends, all of my close friends. And I feel like if I had told them sooner, I would have been able to have, you know, my friend who's in school in New Haven come down and hang out with me for a few days or a day, or, you know, have people come by after work and hang out with me for a little bit and just see how I was doing. And I feel like I sort of isolated myself because, you know, I mean, I think I really was ashamed that I was having the surgery, realistically, and I was ashamed that I couldn't get it together with my weight and that kind of thing. And now it almost seems more crystal clear to me that this was the right decision and the only thing that could have made me have such a drastic improvement in my health. So anyone that I'm close with, you know, not at work, but my other friends, I do tell. And I wish I, you know, had been confident enough to tell them sooner and have them come and hang out with me and make me feel better. And that I had just taken it easier. I think I was pushing myself a little bit too much to go back to work and to get back into my old routine. And then that, you know, made me feel tired longer. So I would have done that differently. And then the last question is, what is your staple thing 1 to 2 months post-op? I started on period foods when I was in the hospital. My surgeon doesn't have you do clear liquids or full liquids or anything like that. So 2 days after surgery, I had period food. So 1 to 2 months post-op, I'm trying to remember, I definitely was on solid foods at that point. I ate a lot of eggs and baked eggs, which I made a video on. I mean, the baked eggs were endlessly adaptable, which was really good, and I could get tons of different kinds of flavors in there. They always seemed to go down really easily, and they were super proteiny. So I ate a ton of eggs, and I actually haven't eaten eggs. I probably eat them once a week now, maybe a little bit less. And probably part of it is that I ate so many at that point, but they were ideal. And if you are looking for, you know, non-chew, soft kind of foods that are like high in protein, go down easy, totally baked eggs are it. Yeah. Okay, those are the answers to my questions. Hope that helps, and I will chat with you soon. Bye.